with you, Jacqui Hammerton, working up from 10 to 1.
Okay, from 10 to 1. Actually, I've got 10 best runner-up, and then my top...
No, we don't want your runners-up.
I have, sorry, that's the way I'll do it. Okay, sorry about this. I think it was Peter, but House of Gucci is in my best runner-up films. Quo Vadis Aida, set in the Bosnian Wars in the 90s, about the translator in the peacekeeping force there in the UN.
What's the name of that movie?
Quo Vadis Aida.
Yes,
okay. I have
yes,
not heard
great movie.
Mm-hmm. Film. She's got her family in the US base, and there's and it leads to a slaughter of, in Srebrenica.
I'm going to check that out.
Everything Went Fine, which is a French film about two sisters and their incapacitated father who requires them to help with assisted dying. It's actually very moving and very funny as well, based on a true story. Happening, again based on a true story, the 1963 a girl who is seeking an illegal abortion and what it does to her life, being in a situation where it is illegal for her to do this. After Yang, which is a little bit of a sci-fi, which is unusual for me, but it was an absolutely beautiful film about family and connection and memory and nature versus nurture, and it's quite melancholy and really beautiful and quiet, and it's got a Japanese aesthetic. I love that.
Bicentennial.
Next, I'm sorry, Fred?
No.
Keep on going, guys. We're going to run out of time.
Next one is Come On, which is the Joaquin Phoenix about an uncle who finds a connection with his nephew when he has to kind of look after him for his sister in New York. And I just thought it was in black and white, and the flashbacks are in colour, and it was a little bit different and a beautiful story. My next one is Glass Onion, which is just a good old-fashioned mystery with characters and red herrings, thoroughly enjoyable. Matilda, the one just in the cinemas, I think last week. Tim Minchin lyrics, based on the stage musical that he wrote on the Roald Dahl book. Totally joyous.
Had you seen the actual stage production?
Yes, it's one of my favourite musicals of all time, and the film is just as good. I laughed, I cried, it's beautiful. The next one on my list, Everything Everywhere All at Once, for its mind-blowing originality,
I was disappointed. Keep going.
Love that movie.
He's so funny. It's worth it just to see Jamie Lee Curtis as that pot-bellied IRS investigator. Really enjoyable. The next one, just out of my top, is Elvis, which I just loved every minute of it. I was carried away.
How many movies have you talked about so far? Where are we in your top 10?
That's 9. If you're keeping count.
You'll take up the rest of this program. Let's keep going.
If you stopped going on at me, I would have finished by now. But now, can I have my drum roll now?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you got the drum roll. Just do it.
So, top film of 2022 for me is a draw.
It's a draw. Come on, you got to separate. I mean, hang on. If in the World Cup, 10
films got 10 out of 10 from me, and these are the two.
Yeah, but in a World Cup final, there's if you at the end of extra time and the scores are locked, you have to have a penalty shootout. Which one wins?
The top 2 of 2022 are The Forgiven and A Hero.
Oh, I love you, Jacqui.
Okay, hang on. The Forgiven, and what was the other one?
A Hero, Asghar Farhadi, in the Persian language, about a man who's in jail for a debt, and his life turns upside down.
Right. Very good, Jacqui. Okay, terrific. Now, Greg King, can you give us your top 10, please?
Well, I've got a couple more than 10 to go through, a bit like Jacqui there.
All right, I'm going to move you quickly because...
But I'll do it my way, thank you. I haven't had much to say all day. I'm going to start with what was a guilty pleasure for me, which was Violent Night, which is a cross between Die Hard and Home Alone, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But other films I put on my list were Quo Vadis Aida, which Jacqui's already mentioned. Escape from Mogadishu, a Korean film. Kinetic energy, frenetic, and lots of energy. I like The Phantom of the Open. My films are ones I enjoyed, not necessarily the best films. So The Phantom of the Open with Mark Rylance. I actually like The Grey Man, non-stop action there. Fall, the two girls stuck on top of that tower there, was very vertiginous. Farewell, Mr. Halfman with Daniel Ortiz. Mona Lisa and the Blood Moon. The more it went on, the more I found myself engaged and hooked by the film. Bones and All. Uncomfortable subject matter, but it's a coming-of-age teen romance cannibal love story. Compromat, a French film about the French diplomat guy stuck behind, thrown in jail, and for crimes he didn't commit, but shut him up. I like Jacqui. I liked Elvis. I thought Baz Luhrmann's flashy visual style there, frenetic start there, but I thought Austin Butler did a great job of capturing Elvis's style. I like Barbarian. It was a good year for horror films. Barbarian and X, about the 20-somethings who go to a farm in Texas to shoot a porn movie and end up being the stars of their horror splatter horror film. I actually like Bros as well, and I also like Top Gun Maverick.
Mm-hmm. And sorry, now, so is there a top? Was there a top film of the year?
I haven't given a top film yet. They're the ones. They're my.
Okay. Greg,
they're the ones I enjoyed most.
All right, so let's go for it. Go for it, please, from 10 to 1. Hello?
Who?
Sorry. So there isn't you don't actually have a top film of the year?
I haven't worked it out completely yet. I've been rushing through other things. Sorry, Alex. They're the ones I enjoyed most for this year.
Oh, okay, got it. No problems at all. All right, Peter Krausz, go for it, please.
Okay, and now I've kept documentaries separate, so let's go through the best 10 films of the year, starting at number 10, Preparations to Be Together for a Long Period of Time,
yes.
From Hungary, excellent film. Number 9, Everything Everywhere All at Once, terrific film. Number 8, Bardo, A False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, the Inarito film from Mexico. Number 7, I had All Quiet on the Western Front from Germany, terrific submission there. Number 6, White Noise, the Noah Baumbach film. Number 5, Memoria with Tilda Swinton, quite a resonant film, that one for me. Number 4, Decision to Leave from Korea. Number 3, The Banshees of Inisherin. Number 2, Triangle of Sadness. And the best film of the year is the one that we saw very early in the year, Drive My Car from Japan. Just a great film.
I checked that out. That was released last year, was it not?
No, I had it listed as a January release.
Did you? Because I would have put that number 1, and I when I looked it up this morning, actually, I stand to be corrected, but according to IMDb, I'm just putting this in again. Drive My Car. Not that it's a movie that people should go and see. I'm now looking down as to when it was released in Australia. One presumes that IMDb is accurate, so I can only go by that. And it's got release dates in various places, so I'm now going to have a look. And it says, I'm looking for Australia as we go down. Australia, you know what it's done? Sydney Film Festival, 12th of November 2021. So the Sydney Film Festival isn't right around Australia, so perhaps it was released in cinemas around Australia this year, Peter.
Yes, it was definitely January release.
Definitely January release. Okay, good stuff. Now, just your top 3 documentaries then, Peter.
Top 3 documentaries were Ablaze, the Australian film about the Aboriginal filmmaker, Eternal Spring, Canada's submission for the Oscars, and the best documentary of the year, Ennio Morricone, The Maestro.
That's a great documentary.
Which was just done recently. Fred Levitt, thank you very much, Peter. Fred Levitt, your top 10 movies of the year, please.
Okay, number 10. I can't believe we saw this last year, but it came out this year. Nightmare Alley. Mm-hmm. Absolutely loved it. Mm-hmm. Number 9 is Speak No Evil. That's the Dutch and Danish film about a family who meets another family on a holiday, and they're invited back to their... It's a brilliant film. For those who haven't seen it, go watch it. It's really scary. Number 8, Compromat. I think
Compromat's a terrific movie. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Number 7, Armageddon Time with Anthony Hopkins and Anne Hathaway. Brilliant film.
It's interesting, Jacqui Hammerton, you mentioned Armageddon Time to me, but it wasn't even in your under.
It's in my recommended. It's just it's just out of my top.
It's out of your top 57. Okay, got it. Keep going.
You didn't like it, Alex?
No, I thought it was terrific. I the two young stars of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that was my number 7. Number 6, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't need to say any more. I think most of you liked it. Number 5, The Stranger. Easily, hands down, the best Australian film of the year.
Fantastic Australian movie. Yep.
Yeah.
Sean Harris's performance is one of the most...
Oh, my God. He's not even Australian.
Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah.
Phenomenal performance. Number 4, The Outfit. Can't believe no one mentioned this. It's a brilliant film.
Mark Rylance. I mean, what a character actor he is.
The entire film is set in one room, pretty much, and it's just so suspenseful.
Yeah, Peter, that did not get a mention with you either. Was that just outside, or what did you think?
Yes, I had quite a few, about 10 other films outside my top 10, including The Stranger as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. Uh-huh.
Now, number 3 is The Forgiven. I think this was Ralph Fiennes' best film of the year. I really didn't like The Menu. I thought it was total dross.
Oh, I like The Menu, but there you go.
Mm-hmm. Number 2, the best documentary, hands down, Navalny, about Alexei Navalny.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, there is no competition. Top Gun Maverick, from start to finish, every moment of that film was just pure joy.
Yeah, it's in my top 3 as well. Now, it's very interesting that you mentioned some of these. Peter, given that what you've just said about Drive My Car, that would be my number 1 now. It's interesting. It was I'm torn between 3 in my top 10. I'm torn between the 3 that I had and now the 4 I've had. I'll get to that in a moment. Just briefly, I'm going to quickly go through names and stop me if you disagree in terms of highly recommended. House of Gucci, Quo Vadis, Aida, Operation Mincemeat, nobody's mentioned, which surprised me. The Conference, which was this chilling historic war drama involving a meeting of high-ranking Nazi officials plotting what was known as the final solution. I like the music doco about David Bowie called Moon Age Daydream, even though it was a bit bizarre. Hit the Road, this whimsical family drama from first-time feature film called Panahi. Armageddon Time, Bones and All, Glass Onion, and Knives Out Mystery. Did any of you see the documentary I'm Juanita? I thought that was very good.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yes.
It was okay.
Spencer, Preparations to Be Together for an Untold Period of Time. Now, this was the horror film Fresh. I thought that was amazing.
Amazing. And how beautiful is, what's her name? Gosh.
I'm not talking about the beauty people. I'm talking about the movie itself.
I can't take my eyes off it, though.
Bergman Island impressed me. The Souvenir Part 2, Nobody Has to Know. After Yang, nobody's mentioned. Nobody enjoyed that?
Yeah, someone did mention it.
Oh, did they?
Jacqui did.
Jacqui, I'm sorry, Jacqui.
That's just a remake of Bicentennial Man.
The Good Boss. Greg, I think you mentioned X.
Yes.
Then Little Tornadoes, I enjoyed. I also enjoyed the animated comedy adventure Minions: The Rise of Gru. Nobody else did? Steve Carell?
Right. Yes, we tried to keep it to 10 or so that we were told to. And so far you've said 27.
Exactly, because I just realised we've got another 5 minutes. So I'm monopolising the time. I actually liked Downton Abbey: A New Era. I thought the second spin-off was pretty good.
My mum loved that.
You didn't like, Alex?
Sorry?
There was something you didn't like from the sounds of it.
Well, hang on. I've given my bottom 10. There's quite a bit here. Then there's compartment number 6. That was the dramatic romance set in the Arctic Circle. I really enjoyed Elvis. I thought The Phantom of the Open, which has been mentioned a couple of times, I thought The Forgiven was magnificent, set in Morocco with Jessica Chastain and Ralph Fiennes. Employee of the Month, this wacky French comedy. Nobody's mentioned Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. What a feel-good charm.
My mum loved that movie.
Yeah, Leslie Manville, Isabelle Huppert.
Great film, though, Alex.
I'm sorry, you're wrong again, Jacqui. How many times in one segment
Yeah.
could be wrong.
By the way, guys, can I just say something quickly? It might not come out in Australia until January, but it's come out everywhere else.
Yes.
Fablemans is the best film of the year.
Now, okay, we're not allowed to talk about it. There's an embargo.
Embargoed, Fred.
We're not allowed to
Yeah,
talk
well,
about
I'm just saying it's good.
Yes, it's coming out. Smile. I thought that was a psychological horror from a debut writer and director called Parker Finn. The Outfit, which was just great, and The Stranger. Now, top 10, from worst of the 10 to the best. The Quiet Girl, the slow burn Irish drama. The Australian documentary about a trauma cleaner called Sandra Pankhurst. Did anybody see Clean? No? Other than me?
I loved it, but, you know.
You loved it, you know. Okay, Come On, which has been mentioned, the Mike Mills drama with Joaquin Phoenix. Happening, which has also been mentioned. Lost Illusions, I thought that was extraordinary, the historic dramatic romance with Cécile de France. Petite Maman, nobody's mentioned, the beautiful film about childhood, about loss and memories, focusing on an 8-year-old girl's relationship with a mum. A Hero, which I think Jacqui mentioned, you can be right occasionally. And this was my dilemma. I had The Banshees of Inisherin, I had Top Gun Maverick, and I had Avatar: The Way of Water, and it was a question of how one sort of puts them. And I would have put Avatar at the top. I would have put Top Gun Maverick number 2 and The Banshees of Inisherin at number 3. But I'm now going to supplant all of those with Drive My Car, thanks to, was that Peter who said, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, so there you go. So they're my top 11 films of the year. So anybody else, you've got a couple of minutes left. Anybody else want to add any other movies that people should go along and see? Maybe they're just outside your top 73. Go for it. Jacqui, have you got any others that you want to mention?
I had on the list, and it was only hearing someone say The Stranger, Fred saying The Stranger, that I don't know where that vanished off my list. That was certainly in my top 10 when I originally wrote it.
Movie.
So
Sorry, did you also get that wrong, did you, Jacqui? That's all right.
The Australian film The Stranger, which is still out, and really recommend that. I just want to throw in there also that I had Nightmare Alley, which somebody else had. I had Hive, which was the story of women whose husbands were missing or killed, who went about starting businesses and faced all sorts of
no problem.
objections.
Can I just say quickly?
We're going to have to wrap things.
Compartment number 6, full-time, the French single mother.
Jacqui, I'm going to have to cut you off. We're about to end the program, but you can keep talking next week, which will be fantastic. Peter, thank you very much. Gregory King, you will hear more of you hopefully next week. Fred, it's been a pleasure having you on board as well, and yeah. I wish that this movie doesn't open till the 26th of January. I wish it was in this year's list. It is called Tar with Kate Blanchett, and boy, oh boy, what a performance. Folks, been pleasure being with you, and I wish you a terrific week, and go along and see some movies.